Hi everyone! So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about my visit to the naturopath. So this is something I've been talking about a little bit in my previous videos about how I was really trying to seek out a doctor who would align on my views and beliefs about topical steroids and not wanting to use them. And many doctors, as I'm sure a lot of you know, aren't really informed about topical steroid withdrawal or red skin syndrome. So it's a little bit tricky to try and find someone who's going to not want to prescribe those things for you, because many, as they have been taught, think that that's the way that they should go about treating you. Others have no belief at all in topical steroid withdrawal, whether they've seen it before or they haven't. They just don't like to think that it exists. So I ended up doing some research, and obviously naturopaths are a specific type of doctor who try to treat whatever ailment you're dealing with naturally. So luckily for me, there was someone here in Orange County who is a naturopath who specializes in dermatology. So I made an appointment with her in September. So that was the very first visit I had with her. And it was a 1-hour appointment where we sat down and we did a quick physical. And then she really took time to understand my concerns, what I've done to be treated for my eczema in the past, things that have worked for me, things that haven't. And we really just went through everything. And from that visit, she thought it best that I get allergy tested because I never had been. I'd went to an allergist a long time ago when I was in high school, I think. And rather than actually doing the spot scratch testing or a blood test, he was like, oh no, you're just dealing with environmental allergies. I'll just prescribe you to come in and get frequent injections. So things that would be, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Not going to. Okay. So he thought just injections were going to be the help for me. Turned out they were really expensive. I would have to get them like every week, so not really great as far as scheduling goes. And it just seemed kind of like a band-aid, seeing as how he didn't want to actually go the extra step and see what I was allergic to and what he was actually going to be treating against. So we decided to not move forward with him. So this time around, I ended up getting a blood test, and that blood test was sent to 2 different testing centers. One of them does IgG testing and the other does IgE. And I believe it's IgE is environmental testing. So it'll do any trees you're allergic to, pollens, grasses, pet dander or pet fur, certain detergents and chemicals, that type of thing. And then the other one, IgG, is the food sensitivity test. So I was able to do that blood test right there at my first visit. And then on my second visit, which was in October, we went over those results together, and we were able to walk through step by step and see, okay, these are the food items I have a high sensitivity to, these are the ones I have a moderate sensitivity to, and these are the ones I have a low sensitivity to. And like many people who deal with eczema, I actually had a very high reaction to wheat, dairy, and to wheat, dairy, and eggs. And so those are like very, very common triggers for a lot of people with eczema. So it wasn't too surprising when I found that out. A couple other things that I didn't know I was allergic to were almonds and peanuts, and I have a sensitivity to oat and tomatoes. So I've been trying to eliminate those from my diet since, and I've seen pretty good results. I don't think it's been really long enough for me to say like very confidently like, oh my gosh, I'm totally allergic to wheat or dairy or whatever, and it was totally reflecting in my skin. I'm not really sure, although dairy is one of those things that I did cut out immediately, and I actually hadn't been really using a lot of dairy products to begin with before I found out that I was allergic to it. So I'd already been using like oat milk or coconut milk in my coffee in the morning, so it wasn't like a huge change for me. But I did notice that once I started actually eliminating it and then reintroducing it, that it was like upsetting my stomach. So I ended up learning a little something there. I'm still trying to cut things out and see how it's doing. It's just so hard because there's so many of those items in things you don't even think about. Like soy sauce has wheat in it. Didn't know that. Put it all over a sushi roll and found out later. Probably shouldn't have done that. So still learning, still getting this whole allergy thing down. But I was really happy to actually get that education and learn those results. There's a big conversation in the TSW community about whether it's effective to get allergy testing done while you're going through topical steroid withdrawal, just because your body is reacting so severely to everything, and it can come back with skewed results, and it can show that you're allergic to things that maybe you're not actually allergic to. But even if that's true, I think I prefer to have those results and have that information in front of me, be able to eliminate it, and then if I can later down the road, after I'm healing or feeling better, being able to reintroduce those things back in, great. If not, if it's going to help me, fine, I'll cut it out and I won't really mind. It's just one of those things where some people think diet has everything to do with your healing. Some people say that they've healed and they've managed to come through the other side of TSW without changing anything in their diet. So it's all about your personal preference, what's going to make you the most comfortable, what's going to make you feel the best. So that's my choice. That's what I'm choosing to do. And so far, I've seen good results. So I think I'm just going to keep moving forward with that. The other thing that the naturopath helps me with was supplements. So I had been taking a multivitamin and I think a fish oil tablet, and that was pretty much it. That was my vitamin routine. And she told me that because my skin was flaring and because I was so the first time I saw her, I was like 1 month topical steroid free. Not even, I was like 2 weeks. And so my skin was super red. I had like the full on sleeves. I was just like radiating heat. She like came up to me at one point and she was like checking, I forgot, it was like some point in the physical where she was checking something. Oh, my lymph nodes on my neck. And she touched me and she's like, whoa, I can feel the heat coming off of you. And I was like, yeah, but the awkward thing is I'm like, I feel freezing. She's like, yep, that's withdrawal. So first time she saw me, she was like, okay, to help cut the inflammation, I'm going to give you a vitamin called Theracumin, which is I think it has turmeric in it. And so it's a anti-inflammatory. So that's something I've been taking. She gave me a whole list, and I'm going to do a separate video actually on those supplements because I think everyone should know those. But the other one that I want to mention now was Quercetin, and that's actually a natural antihistamine. So if you've been finding that you're having to take a Zyrtec or an Elite or a whatever the other one is, if you have had to be taking an antihistamine daily just to try and subside on the itching, or if you have like maybe other symptoms going on like a runny nose or itchy throat, then that's a really nice natural alternative. You can get it off Amazon, you can get it at your local health food store. So that's something I've been taking and also have noticed has helped. So between the supplements and between the allergy testing, I think I'm on a really good road, and I love my naturopath. She's just she feels like a teammate in this whole thing. She's like right there with me. I have email communication with her that's like constant and like as fast as I need it to be. So I can tell her like, hey, this is going on, or how much of this supplement was I supposed to take? I just ordered it, but I forgot, like I didn't write it down. And she's like very, very quick about responding. And she's just, she's awesome. So I highly recommend looking into a naturopath if that's something that you have in your area that you can use with your health insurance or in conjunction with your health insurance. Like it's a great option. And I've really, really loved having her. She makes me feel, she reinforces to my confidence in this journey. She's like, you're doing the right thing. You're doing what's right for you. Steroids aren't for everybody. And especially those people who've had bad reactions or have become addicted, like you do need to find another solution. And people do need to be educating their patients better about how long they should be using them or for what areas and for how, just everything. So she's great. I really love her. And then the other thing that she recommended that I get was an air filter, because the trees that are outside my apartment windows are actually trees that came up on my allergy test as one that I'm allergic to. So we actually got one of those like Dyson air filters, and they're on sale right now at Costco. So if that's something that you want to get, I'll try and link it below, but it's awesome. It like completely cleans the air. There's a cool setting and a hot setting, so if it's a little warmer that day, you can put on the cool setting and it kind of works as an air conditioning. If it's cold out and you want to bump it up to a little warmth, then you can use it kind of as a heater or a space heater. So overall, really happy with that. And the other thing was a humidifier, and the humidifier was a total game changer. I mean, like, okay, I was waking up some mornings with just like a dry, peely face, especially like the perimeter of my face would just be like flaking. So it was just the morning routine of like, okay, wake up, like try and exfoliate that off as best I can without hurting my skin, and then put moisturizer on and hope for the best. But with the humidifier, I turn it on, I have it on all night on a really low setting. It's not like it's going full blast or loud or anything like that. You can't even hear it. That's how low it is. And it just shoots this like really light mist out and adds a little bit more water to the air. Super, super great. I wake up and my skin, I don't have as many flakes. I don't have as much dryness. It just has been so nice. I can wake up and I can go, oh, okay, all I have to do is put a little bit of moisturizer on and I'm good to go. So that was my experience with the naturopath so far. I just had an appointment this month for November, and she actually, so I still had like pretty dry skin under my scalp, or on my scalp, under my hair. And I was actually kind of nervous about that. I was like, okay, I don't know if this is related to TSW. I read everywhere in these forums about people who are struggling with like more hair loss and more hair fallout than normal. And I thought maybe that was kind of what was going on and what that might be a symptom of. And so now what we're trying is, she took a look and she was like, yeah, that could be. I don't really know, but in case it is like candida or a yeast overgrowth in your gut, she's like, I'm going to give you an antifungal to take for cleaning out your gut. And I'm going to give you a special shampoo to use so that if it is like some sort of yeast or fungus related, then it can go away. That's something that I've actually read a lot about too, is gut health is one of those kind of like flashy phrases that people like to use. But in this case, it's absolutely true. Like if you do not have a balanced microbiome, then your body will react in different ways. And one of those ways is if you have an overproduction of yeast is by oral thrush, which is like when you have a whiteness on your tongue. It can be like yeast infections, like down there. It can also be like dandruff in your scalp. So there's all sorts of ways that it can show itself. So just to eliminate that, that's our next step. So I'm loving her. I'm loving this whole medical partner process, knowing that I have someone I can go to who's knowledgeable in the field, an actual advisor who can tell me whether or not I'm doing something right. And then just having like a confidant too, and knowing like, hey, I don't know if this is right, or I don't know if I'm like exactly heading down the right path. Like, can you help me in any way with information or justification? Just like, she's great. So I would highly recommend a naturopath. If you haven't looked into it already, definitely give it a shot, because you can't have enough advocates when you're going through this process, and a medical advocate is one you need. So let me know if you have any questions. If you're in the Orange County area, I'd be happy to provide you with my naturopath's name and information so that you can get in touch. If you need help looking up a naturopath in your area, let me know. I can see if I can find someone, or if my doctor has any recommendations or referrals. So I wish all of you the best in your healing journey. It was just Thanksgiving this week, so I want to say to this whole community, I'm very grateful for you. Thank you for your advice. Thank you for being kind of a shoulder to cry on when you're having a rough day. Thanks for being the words of encouragement and the positivity that we all need going through this, knowing that there is an end to the tunnel, that we will get through it, and that we're all kind of in this together. So I am grateful for you. So thank you so much. I will talk to you in my next video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.